We're going to code a procedure scenario using the ICD-10-PCS codebook. This is a code system that's going into effect October 1st, 2015, and it's a brand new code system, very different than what we've done in the past. I'm going to read the scenario we're going to code to begin with. Laparoscopic cholecystectomy converted to open cholecystectomy. The gallbladder was removed in total. In this case, the laparoscopic procedure was attempted but was unsuccessful. In order to actually remove the gallbladder, they had to convert it to an open procedure. So since the laparoscopic procedure was attempted but not completed, we're coding that as an inspection. Then we're coding the open procedure that was completed. So first, our principal procedure is going to be the open cholecystectomy. So we're going to code that first. I'm going to turn into Appendix A in my code book, and I'm going to look for the root operation that I need to use when coding this. I'm going to try looking at removal first. And when I read that description, it says taking out or off a device from the body part. We're not doing that. We're actually removing the entire body part. So if I look at resection, the definition is cutting out or off without replacement all of a body part. So that is the procedure that we're going to code. You will get very familiar with all of these different root operations when you've coded procedures for a while. So I'm going to turn to the alphabetical index now, and I'm going to look up resection. And I found it. And under resection, I'm going to look for gallbladder. And I found a partial code 0FT4. In PCS, all codes need to be 7 digits to be valid. So now that I've got the first 4 characters, I'm going to turn to the table 0FT. FT. I found the table, and the next character I also have from the alphabetical index, and it's a 4. That's my body part for the gallbladder. Now I need to complete the code using the characters for the positions on the table, on this line of the table. I can't move from one line of the table to another while I'm building a code. So I go to the approach column, and it was an open procedure, so my next character is going to be a 0. And then the last 2 columns are quite easy because there's only one choice, Z for no device and Z for no qualifier. So my complete code is going to be 0FT40ZZ. And that's my principal procedure because that is the procedure that was actually completed. Now I need to code the procedure that was attempted initially under inspection. If I look at my Appendix A again, and under medical and surgical, find inspection, the description of that is visually and or manually exploring a body part. Now, when you're coding, you need to understand how the procedure is done. So you may have to do some research to determine exactly how the procedure is done to completely code it successfully. But I'm going back to the alphabetical index, and I'm going to look up inspection. Again, I'm going to look for gallbladder, and I find the code 0FJ4. So I'm going to go to the table 0FJ, and I found that table. I need to determine which line of the table to use. We're dealing with the gallbladder, and we already know that the next character is a 4, so I want to be on the first line of this table. In the next position under approach, I have several options. Since I've done my research on how a laparoscopic cholecystectomy is done, I know that it's a percutaneous endoscopic approach. Laparoscopic and endoscopic are the same thing. Percutaneous means that a slight cut needs to be made in the skin in order to enter the laparoscope device to complete the procedure. And so then I go to the next column, and it's Z for no device, so that's very easy. And the final column is also Z for no qualifier. So that makes my complete code 0FJ44ZZ. So I've completed coding this scenario, and I have two codes, 0FT40ZZ as my principal procedure and 0FJ44ZZ as my secondary procedure. And that completes coding this scenario.